What's up guys, Toby here, and today I want to focus on one topic that is in my eyes one of the most overlooked things to really improve and get better during the training. Kobe Bryant once said that it's about getting better every day, and I totally agree. Sometimes we think it's the huge effort we bring on court and then with one step we can get really far, but that is not true. We have to be consistent, show up every single day, try to improve a little bit step by step, and that will eventually bring us towards our goals and create big progress. There is one thing that probably everybody of us is using in every training session, and that is the warm-up program. And most people use the warm-up only for preventing injuries and getting ready to perform on court, so to get more explosive and get faster. But how cool would it be if we can actually get some progress out of the warm-up and get a little bit better every single day or every single session just by using those 15 minutes in a smart way, put in some badminton things. And that's what this video is all about. I want to give you some ideas how you can already start improving in the first 15 minutes of the warm-up in your training session. Alright, so usually I like to start on the floor with some activation where I mobilize and stabilize some of the most important joints for us on court. And for the mobilization I focus mainly on the ankle, the hip and the upper part of the spine as well as the shoulders. And for stabilization I mainly focus on the knee or like the whole leg muscles, especially also the glutes, the core and also the shoulder. So the first big tip, I would not use any static exercises. So long and static stretching, like you can see here, would only take away the tension out of your muscles, and that will also take away your speed and explosiveness. So we don't want to have that. And if you think of what you're doing on court and when you have to stabilize, there's always movement. So also for the stabilizing exercises, I would always add in a little bit of movement and do not use any static exercises. So with that said, I also love to combine different exercises where you not only focus on one of these things I just mentioned with mobilization and stabilization, but to combine them. One exercise is an exercise for the hip mainly, where you start in a position like this and then you let your knees drop to one side and the other side. So you have internal and external rotation of the hip. And after a few times you add in a stretching of the hip, so you activate your glutes, also activate a little bit of core, get back down again and change to the other side. So this is the next step. We already combined a few things. And the last step is that from here on you add a little lunge where you push the knee far over your foot. So leave the heel on the floor, go back to this position, sit down, change, other side. So when you watch the movement of top players on court, it's very rhythmic, very flowing, and there are no real edges in the movement. So this is also something I try to put into my warm-up to combine different exercises and create a movement flow. And the next one is also an example for that. I start in a push-up position. From here I go to the famous downward dog from yoga, go forward again, and then go into a lunge where I lift the arm of the foot that I go forward to, and then push through my leg, go back again, push-up position, downward dog. And then the other side. And then I try to create a lot of flow in these movements. You can also add in some jumps backwards, make it a little bit more complex. There are a lot of variations. I will also link you a few ideas in the description below, and I can really recommend you to try out these things. They're also a lot more fun than just static exercises. And as I said, they will improve your movement flow and make you more fluent on court. One last thing for that part, it's also a good idea to put in some exercises to work on your weaknesses maybe. So I have a bad mobility here at the thoracic spine at the moment, so I always add in some exercises where I have to turn a lot up here. Or if you maybe have some shoulder problems, experience some shoulder problems, maybe use some exercises to train the backside. In badminton we use a lot of forward movements when we smash or when we hit forehand shots. So for example, the T that you can see here is a great exercise to get the shoulders a little bit back in position where you're not actually hurting when you have pain in front here. Great exercise. All right, next step, time to get running. And a lot of people are actually doing that. They are running lanes in the beginning of the training. So to activate the legs especially and to raise the temperature of the body. It's okay, but I would recommend you to not use too much straightforward running. This is something we humans are quite good at. We're doing that all the time. But when you look at the movement on court, we use a lot of different movements like sideways, diagonals, backwards. And this is something I would implement in those parts of the warm-up where you have a lot of different movement directions and try to work as badminton specific as possible. Another option to add in some specific badminton things is grabbing the racket and maybe doing some grip changes, doing some light swings with the racket already to also activate the shoulder. Especially for beginners, a good way to get used to the grip or the racket. In addition to that, I also love to use the back line and the double service line to do some coordinative exercises. For example, here I'm doing diagonal chassis steps with an explosive split step, and the first step or my push is always outside the lines and the last step is outside the lines on the other side. So you can see here there are a lot of different variations how you can do that, and also be creative. Try to put in some things that you are working on in the training at the moment, and that will dramatically boost your training progress because you can collect a lot of repetitions in that kind of format here. So last but not least, finally time to get on court. And here you can get even more specific, and I always love to do some shadow training before I hit the first shuttles and always set a specific focus. Again, here you have tons of possibilities. I always love to start with a lot of deep lunges. So here you can see I'm trying to stay as low as possible, get deep into the corner, but quickly out of it, and use all 6 corners, so front court, the sides, and also the rear court. Here, for example, I'm only focusing on the rear court and trying to use some different jumps and always bounce out of the corner. So it's about a quick recovery here, also activating the muscles in the legs to be fast and reactive for the landings. And in the end, I try to mimic some different rallies. So I'm moving full court. The first example here, I always try to cover very long distances. So I have to go from the net all the way to the back and the other way around. Try to use a lot of diagonals. So a lot of long distances, not maybe 100% tempo, and in the end a little bit smaller court, so not moving so far, but being as fast as I can, so 100% of tempo, and then I'm totally ready to go. As you can see in the end, I'm already a little bit sweaty, so this is a really good sign. I think after these exercises you already have to start sweating, and that means that you're definitely ready to get on court, hit some shuttles, or maybe dive into the first exercise right away. So there you have it, guys, and these were just a few ideas. So be creative there. Also think about what are you actually training at the moment in your sessions, and is there something that you can put into the warm-up program. So it's not only about preventing injuries and getting ready to be fast on court, but also that you feel after those 15 minutes you actually practiced something. After the warm-up, there is knocking up on court, and this is a whole topic for itself. So if you also want to get some ideas how you can also improve with the first shots you're doing on court, let me know it in the comments below. I think I could make a whole video just about that thing. And also let me know in the comments if you have any great ideas how to make the warm-up even better, what you are doing to actually improve in the first 15 minutes of your training. As usual, before you jump off, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and then I hope I can welcome you in the next video. Have a good day. Bye bye.